children. Today we are going to see a play written by Louisa May Alcott. She is best known as the author of published in Little Women, published in 1868. It is lovely, based on her childhood experience with her three sisters in Massachusetts. The book was an overwhelming success. Her second book, Good Wives, is about adult March Utters and their respective marriages. Other books by Louisa May Alcott are Joy, Pay, and Little Mew. So, when we see this title, Making Friends, a friend in need is friend indeed. How Jo was able to make friendship with Laurie is actually written in a form of a play. Play is different from prose. In a play, we have characters, setting, plot, then dialogues. In 19th century New England, four sisters, the tomboyish Joy. Tomboyish means a girl who behaves in a boyish manner, is known as tomboyish Jo. The beautiful Meg, the frail means weak, Beth, and the curly-haired Amy grow up from girls into young women while their fathers is away at war. Their family is poor, but they are content, satisfied, and happy. They are always willing to make friends and help others. Are the sisters able to make friends with a lonely neighbor? Read this dramatized version of an extract from Little Women. This particular play is actually taken from her novel Little Women, and their father was not with them, and how they spent their time and how Jo was able to make friendship with Laurie is highlighted in this story. Jo, Meg, the March sisters, Laurie, the boy in the neighborhood, grandfather, Laurie's grandfather, old Mr. Lawrence, maid, the helper in the Lawrence household. The scene is set in a drawing room. The room has two sofas facing each other, two deep chairs, a cupboard, and a large coffee table. Between the sofa is the fireplace where a small cheerful fire is burning. Actually, cheerful does not mean here happy, but it is pleasant because it was winter season. The sofas and chairs are covered with pretty but faded cloth. The curtains at the windows are crimson. Crimson means deep red. Bright ones, now faded to a dull color. The effect is one of shabby but gentle poverty, having little but high social standing. That is the meaning of gentle poverty. Shabby means torn, tattered. A young girl is reading on one of the sofas, her feet stretched towards the fire. This is Meg. Meg was reading the novel or the book. She looks up as another young girl walks in wearing rubber boots and hooded cap with a broom in one hand and a shovel in the other. Shovel actually is a garden tool which is used to remove sand or some other things. Here she will be using shovel to remove the snow which is accumulated outside their house. Meg, what in the world are you going to do now? Jo, going out for some exercise, he smiles. Meg, horrified, terrified, exercise on a cold day like this? Jo, you can sit here and read Ivanhoe It is the name of a historical novel on the adventures of Sir Wilfred of Ivanhoe. And toast your feet. Toast your feet means warm your feet. Please underline that one. Toast your feet. That is warm your feet. I am going. Jo exits left. Meg stares after her sister. After the departure of Jo, Jo shakes her shoulders. She can never sit still for even a moment, Meg is telling to Jo. But she will be back soon, complaining of the cold and telling me how her feet and ears and fingers are frozen and ready to drop off. Here it means it will become numb because of excess of cold. A little later, Jo enters with an excited look on her face. Jo, do you know where I am going now? Meg looks up startled, surprised. Oh, it's you, Jo. You startled me. You confused me. You surprised me. What is the matter? Is it too cold for you? Jo, not a bit. I have finished clearing the snow and sweeping a path around the garden. Have you seen the Lawrence boy who lives in that stately mansion, palatial building on the other side of the fence? Hedge means here fence. I wonder if he has gone away, or maybe his grandpa does not know what is good for him and keeps him shut all day. He needs somebody young and lively. I have a good mind to go over and tell the old man so. So she is talking about her neighbor, that is Lawrence, and how his grandfather has shut him up because he thinks it is good for him, and she wants to talk to his grandfather and make friendship with Laurie. Scene 2. The curtain rises to show Laurie looking out of his window. Jo throws a handful of snow towards him. Laurie turns his head to look at Jo. How do you do? Are you sick? Laurie, in a croaking voice, voice, I have had a bad cold and have been shut up for a week. He was having cold, or he had a bad cold. Jo, I am sorry. What do you amuse yourself with? You amuse here means try to interest yourself, engage yourself here with. Don't you read? Not much. They won't let me. They won't allow me to read also. Can't somebody read to you? Then if anybody helps you to read, will that person be allowed to read for you? Jo is asking to Laurie. Then Laurie is telling, Grandpa does sometimes, but my books don't interest him, and I hate to ask Brooke all the time. I cannot take the help of Brooke to read storybooks for me. Have someone come and see you then? Jo is asking to